Tonight, we journey into the gentle myth of Triptolemus, harbinger of harvest. Guided by the goddess Demeter, Triptolemus sets out on an endearing quest to bestow the gift of agriculture to humanity. This ancient tale whispers of divine missions and the nurturing of life through the earth's abundant embrace. As you settle in and rest, let the soft rhythm of this mythology lull you into a peaceful slumber. If you enjoy drifting into these ancient stories, consider joining us again. And now, let the tale unfold. In the serene and timeless era of ancient Greece, within the sacred halls of Eleusis, there lived a young man named Triptolemus. As the cherished son of King Celeus, he was known for his wisdom and profound dedication to learning. His natural curiosity about the earth and its bounties led him to frequently wander the expansive fields around his father's kingdom, pondering the mysteries of growth and the seasons weaving of life stories. This innate connection to the land foreshadowed a divine purpose, one that was about to unfold through an extraordinary encounter. One evening, as the warm glow of dusk enveloped Eleusis, a traveler appeared at the gates of King Celeus's palace. Disguised as a weary old woman, Demeter, the nurturing goddess of harvest, entered the city. Her seemingly ordinary presence carried a reverence most couldn't perceive, yet the essence she bore subtly hinted at her divine nature. King Celeus, renowned for his hospitality, welcomed her into his home with open arms, not realizing that this act would initiate a revelation of great importance for his son. Demeter, within the warm embrace of the royal household, carefully observed her surroundings. She paid particular attention to Triptolemus, noting his affinity for the earth and his perceptive nature. Her presence, though initially veiled, was eventually revealed in a moment of sublime transformation. As the soft twilight light bathed the hall, Demeter unveiled her true form amid a glowing ethereal aura, her divine presence radiating wisdom and serenity. Triptolemus, overwhelmed by the revelation, bowed reverently, aware that a moment of cosmic significance was unfolding before him. Speaking with a voice that resonated with the wisdom of centuries, Demeter addressed Triptolemus, emphasizing the vital role of agriculture in sustaining human life. She spoke of planting and reaping cycles, explaining them as divine gifts that nurtured abundance. "See the earth as a living manuscript," she said, "where stories of sustenance are penned in every sprout and harvested grain." Her words evoked vivid images of lush fields and golden harvests in old Triptolemus's mind, igniting a deep understanding of the interconnectedness between the earth's bounty and human existence. Demeter entrusted Triptolemus with an honorable mission: to traverse the lands, spreading the knowledge of cultivation and empowering humanity to harness the earth's potential. This divine commission touched him profoundly, awakening within him a purpose he had long sensed but never fully defined. The task aligned with his inner longing to channel divine teachings towards nurturing knowledge and prosperity across the world. To facilitate his quest, Demeter gifted Triptolemus a winged chariot crafted by the gods. This enchanted vehicle promised swift travel across vast landscapes, its golden sheen symbolizing prosperity, and its wings echoing the promise of limitless reach. As Triptolemus grasped its reins, he felt a surge of hope and gratitude, understanding that the chariot was not only a means of transport, but a manifestation of Demeter's faith and support in his journey. In a final gesture of divine favor, Demeter offered her blessing, a warmth that enveloped Triptolemus, instilling peace and certainty within him. Her touch reaffirmed the connection between the earth and the heavens, anchoring him in the task ahead with a sense of reassurance and clarity. This union of divine and human commitment illuminated his path, assuring him of success as a steward of ancient wisdom. Afterward, Triptolemus shared the divine encounter with his father, King Celeus. Initially no less than astonished, the king's paternal pride was evident as he voiced his support. "The gods have chosen wisely," Celius affirmed, recognizing the honor bestowed upon his son. This paternal endorsement further solidified Triptolemus's resolve, merging divine and familial support into an unwavering foundation. As night descended quietly over Eleusis, a profound sense of anticipation lingered. Under the clear spring skies, with gentle breezes rustling the newly sprouted grains, Triptolemus contemplated the significant journey ahead. He absorbed the quiet promise of a mission that would not only honor Demeter, but also elevate humanity to new understandings of abundance. The echoes of soft gold left by the setting sun whispered beginnings, not endings, as Triptolemus prepared to embark on his sacred mission. Heart filled with humility and purpose, he stood ready, the winged chariot symbolizing his awaited journey to spread seeds of knowledge across the ancient world. Standing upon the sacred grounds of Eleusis, Triptolemus immersed himself in thoughts of the divine mission ahead. This was not merely a task, it was a profound duty to sow hope, prosperity, and abundance across the lands. Guided by Demeter, the goddess of the harvest, he grasped the significance of agriculture as a transformative gift from the heavens. Demeter, with nurturing wisdom, instructed Triptolemus on the intricate art of sowing and reaping. Each lesson was a gentle dance with nature, unveiling the rhythms of the land. Their exchanges revealed the heart of agriculture, a partnership with the natural world to cultivate its bounty. The dialogue was between flesh and earth, a symphony of life cycles that Triptolemus learned to orchestrate. Together with Demeter, Triptolemus contemplated the plow, a tool of profound meaning. A symbol of nurturing potential, it represented the dawn of a new era where human ingenuity would lead to prosperity. As Demeter explained, the plow was the beacon of resilience, a promise to banish hunger and bring forth abundance by transforming barren fields into lush expanses. Beside him sat the winged chariot, a magnificent craft bestowed by Demeter. Testing it for the first time, Triptolemus felt initial trepidation as it rose. Yet, as the chariot soared, its symphonic wings assured him of Demeter's guidance. Each rise and fall painted visions of limitless possibilities, unraveling the tapestry of the world awaiting his touch and revealing paths yet to be traveled. In the quiet moment between father and son, Triptolemus engaged in a heartfelt conversation with King Celius. They spoke of distant lands and people waiting for enlightenment. Celius shared wisdom and encouragement, his words imbued with hope for the journey to come. The dialogue was an acknowledgement of the transformative power awaiting, a testament to the divine mission that Triptolemus was born to fulfill. Sacred grains were bestowed by Demeter for the expedition. Each seed held divine potential, capable of flourishing in any soil. These grains were not mere tokens, but catalysts for prosperity, symbols of a fertile partnership between humanity and divinity. Their smallness contained the promise of flourishing abundance, ready to introduce the earth's riches to all who would cultivate. A farewell feast in Triptolemus's honor was prepared. The halls of Eleusis came alive, filled with friends, family, and fellow city folk, all gathering to send him off with warmth and gratitude. This feast was more than a goodbye. It was a celebration of the transformative journey about to commence. The atmosphere mirrored serenity and optimism, enveloping the community's love and hope for success. With dawn breaking, Triptolemus poised himself in the gentle morning mist. The winged chariot awaited its rider, ready to ascend. His heart swelled with determination, Demeter's blessings upon him. As the early light painted the horizon with soft pinks and golden hues, Triptolemus embarked on his journey, embracing enlightenment and prosperity. With these serene foundations laid, he soared above the Eleusis countryside, marking the first steps towards fulfillment of an ancient promise. As dawn's first light broke over the lands, Triptolemus felt the stirrings of his divine mission. In the winged chariot, a gift from Demeter, he flew over the mosaic of Greece, a land ripe with potential. Demeter's teachings glowed warmly in his heart, echoing through the sacred grains he carried, each kernel a promise of abundance to be sown across humanity's realms. Upon reaching his first destination, Triptolemus descended over the lush fields enveloping a humble village. Guided by Demeter's wisdom, he gently distributed the golden grains, which nestled into the fertile soil, a silent pact for growth and renewal. The earth, once dormant, absorbed the blessing with a vibrant embrace, and Triptolemus felt Demeter's warmth pulse beneath his feet, fostering life both in the lands and in the hearts of its people. Local farmers gathered, eyes wide with a mix of awe and disbelief. Their lives had long been dictated by nature's whims, the concept of controlled cultivation, largely foreign and enigmatic. Sensing their hesitation, Triptolemus engaged with them directly, sharing tales of vast harvests foretold by Demeter. He conveyed how, through careful nurturing and understanding, the earth would yield a bounty beyond their current imaginings. Slowly, as grain sprouted from the soil, their unease began to dissolve. Fields, once barren, shimmered with new life, vibrant shoots reaching skyward, a testament to Demeter's enduring touch. The sight, paired with Triptolemus's humble words, kindled hope among the villagers. In hushed groups, they marveled at the earth's transformation, whispering of a divine promise unfolding before their eyes. Dedicated to their cause, Triptolemus guided the villagers through the intricacies of their first planting. Showcasing techniques imbued with divine precision, his hands moved with an assurance born from Demeter's teachings. The villagers, initially tentative, hesitated no more and emulated his motions, their assurance blossoming alongside the tender shoots. Conversations once shadowed by uncertainty now carried the light of possibilities, nurtured by the burgeoning grains reaching sunward. The bond between Triptolemus and the villagers deepened as his wisdom took root. He patiently answered their inquiries, explaining the cycles of harvest and the vital role each season played in agriculture's rhythm. Under his gentlest care, the village flourished, a landscape adorned in golden hues, each sway a melody of prosperity. The collective effort stood as proof of unity's power, merging human endeavor with divine guidance to cultivate a future rich with possibility. On occasion, Triptolemus faced greater challenges, such, one day, as arriving to help a village struggling against stubborn, unyielding soil. Seeing the dilemma, Triptolemus devised a plan, teaching the villagers how to till the earth more effectively, to enable the grains to root deeply. This practical wisdom bore fruit as the land, once desolate, flourished, a testament to agriculture's promise, strengthening village faith in Triptolemus and Demeter's benevolence. The triumph of revitalizing stubborn land sparked a celebration within the village community, a vibrant affair of gratitude and joy. Villagers adorned the square with woven garlands of wheat, celebrating their newfound prosperity. Triptolemus, amidst laughter and music, joined the festivities, observing the faces smiling with relief and newfound hope, emblematic of the divine gift of agriculture. As Triptolemus continued, the seeds of trust and understanding flourished across neighboring villages. Each flight of his chariot carried not only grains, but also the promise of knowledge and abundance. Each stop along his path presented new challenges and victories. The expanding realm of Demeter's wisdom left behind fields of golden grain and hearts filled with hope. In moments of reflection, Triptolemus contemplated the magnitude of his mission. Guided gently by Demeter's presence, he understood that their journey was just beginning, his efforts laying the foundation for deeper connections. His work now flowed through generations, fostering harmonious relations between humanity and the earth. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Painting fields in amber hues, Triptolemus readied himself for the next village. The air carried the soft rustling of mature grains, a serenade of gratitude sung by the land. With a heart renewed with purpose, and the cherry-bearing whispers of Demeter, he prepared to further spread the art of cultivation, one gentle teaching at a time. As Triptolemus journeyed further from the fertile lands of Eleusis, the tale of his divine mission spread swiftly across the land, carried by the winds of change and whispered by admirers. The miraculous transformations brought by his teachings captured the imaginations of neighboring towns and distant villages. Communities eager to partake in this unfolding era of prosperity sent forth their entreaties, inviting the harbinger of agriculture to impart his divine wisdom. Triptolemus embraced these calls with graciousness, ever aware of the responsibility bestowed upon him by Demeter. Traveling from one settlement to the next, he kindled hope and anticipation in each heart he touched. The communities, poised at the threshold of abundance, welcomed him as a mentor and guide, ready to embark on the journey toward agricultural enlightenment. At each stop, crowds gathered in earnest, filling the open fields where Triptolemus set up his teaching. These lush green spaces became lively hubs of learning, echoing with the chatter of villagers, eager to absorb every nuance of this revolutionary knowledge. As he stood before them, Triptolemus exuded calm authority, weaving the rich tapestry of Demeter's teachings into a practical guide for the villagers' daily lives. The workshops began with Triptolemus demonstrating the essential techniques: soil preparation, seed sowing, and nurturing the crops to ensure a bountiful harvest. His gentle voice guided them through each step, the wisdom of the goddess resonating in every word. An eager audience mirrored his motions, their enthusiasm turning fields into classrooms where curiosity and reverence for the earth flourished. During these workshops, Triptolemus encouraged discussion and interaction, inviting local farmers to share their insights and questions. These communal engagements allowed knowledge to flow both ways, enriching the experience and strengthening the villagers' connection to their land. Such exchanges fostered an environment where learning was mutual, and growth was a shared endeavor. Villagers of all ages participated, their hands eager to learn the touch of cultivation, their minds absorbing the spiritual essence interwoven with practical lessons. Triptolemus's presence forged a vibrant connection between these burgeoning farmers and their land, instilling a shared sense of purpose and communal growth. Recognizing the crucial role of leadership in sustaining this newfound wisdom, Triptolemus sought counsel with local leaders. In collaborative discussions, he emphasized the importance of communal stewardship. Leaders, newly inspired by Triptolemus's teachings, began to take initiative, organizing ongoing educational gatherings and overseeing the agricultural practices that would ensure their communities' flourishing. Triptolemus's words planted seeds of leadership, deeply embedding the values of shared responsibility and unity. He left behind more than just knowledge of agriculture. He gifted the communities with the tools for governance, leading to their continued progress long after his departure. As fields prospered, communities celebrated their newfound wealth through seasonal festivities aligned with their harvest cycles. These gatherings transformed into jubilant expressions of gratitude, where each dance and feast underscored the healthy bond between people and land. Triptolemus observed these festivals with pride, seeing them as both homage to divine gifts and as a testament to the unity fostered by agriculture. The teachings of Triptolemus transcended mere crop cultivation, embedding themselves within the spiritual practices of the people. Agriculture, interwoven with divine reverence, became a cornerstone of their spiritual identity, with rituals and offerings celebrating the harvest as sacred acts. This fusion of spirituality and agriculture brought harmony, reflecting the depth of wisdom inherited from Demeter. With each village transformed, the story of Triptolemus's journey of abundance continued to ripple outward, promising unity and growth to all who embraced the golden path of cultivation. His mission, intertwined with the rhythms of the seasons and the divine cadence of Demeter, foreshadowed a future of hope. As Triptolemus prepared for his travels to even further lands, a promise lingered in the air, one of continued journey, outreach, and the blending of divine and earthly harmony. Triptolemus, buoyed by the successes in spreading Demeter's divine gift of agriculture, set his sights on new regions. Yet, these lands soon proved less than welcoming. Among the remote hillside villages, resistant murmurs greeted him. The villagers were steeped in traditions that dated back generations, and the idea of altering their well-trodden ways with new agricultural methods was met with skepticism. Triptolemus understood the challenge would require more than mere assertions of divine wisdom. He needed to carefully weave his efforts into the existing tapestry of village life. At one village, nestled between ancient hills, the community relied heavily on foraging wild fruits and simple grains harvested from sparse fields. Triptolemus observed their practices with respect, seeking ways to introduce his knowledge without disrupting the delicate balance of their traditions. He illustrated how cultivated grains could coexist with their existing methods, serving as a buffer during lean seasons. Over time, his dedication began to foster curiosity among the villagers. By demonstrating agriculture's complement to their traditions, he showed that new techniques could enhance rather than replace their ritual practices. Curious onlookers gathered around Triptolemus as he tilled the land, drawing straight lines in fields once freely wild. He welcomed these skeptical glances as invitations for conversation. Using the plow given by Demeter, Triptolemus recounted stories of the goddess, of her benevolence and the life she wished to bless with abundance. Skeptics, once rigid and wary, found themselves drawn into the narratives of prosperity that Triptolemus so graciously wove. Slowly, their perspectives began to shift. Yet, misunderstandings arose from fears deeply seated in divine interference. Some elders believed that altering the earth might invite displeasure from their deities. Triptolemus approached these concerns with gentleness, emphasizing that Demeter's blessings were offered with love, meant to enrich rather than disrupt their sacred traditions. His perseverance manifested in his willingness to listen and adapt his approach. Through stories shared under the cover of twilight, he conveyed that this knowledge was intended to harmonize with their traditions, not overwrite them. One evening, as he sat with a circle of elders under the soft glow of twilight, one elder recited a tale from their lore that resonated with Triptolemus's teachings. This ancestral story, emphasizing balance and harmony with nature, echoed the principles that Triptolemus championed. The enlightening dialogue that followed established a path towards mutual understanding. Stories like this helped bridge the gap, illustrating how agricultural practices could enhance their cherished customs while preserving their cultural identity. A turning point arrived unexpectedly through a modest harvest that Triptolemus managed to cultivate in a small patch of land. The elders had initially doubted the viability of these crops, but as the grains ripened under their watchful eyes, Triptolemus showed them how these could complement traditional harvesting practices. When he explained the potential for resilience these crops offered against uncertainties, interest gradually bloomed, turning skepticism into cautious optimism and eventually into genuine enthusiasm. Over multiple evenings spent in contemplation, Triptolemus reflected on the gradual progress unfolding before him. Every conversation, every minor victory contributed to expanding understanding among the villages. Patience and storytelling emerged as invaluable tools in overcoming these barriers, ensuring each tradition held its place alongside newfound wisdom. The journey continued, with Triptolemus's gentle guidance transforming resistance into trust at every village he visited. Communities that once resisted began to embrace the knowledge he imparted, recognizing it as a pathway to enhance their resilience against nature's whims. The plow, the golden grain, initial symbols of foreign intrusion, now merged into their heritage, seen as both ancient and renewed. As twilight settled over the humble villages, Triptolemus's journey expanded not only geographically, but within the hearts of those he touched. This acceptance, nurtured by his patient efforts, laid the groundwork for greater abundance, unveiling horizons ripe with promise. The work continued, eased by perseverance, dialogue, and respect, paving the way for the flourishing prosperity that awaited both Triptolemus and the communities he served. Gentle rays of the autumn sun cast a golden hue upon the land, as Triptolemus gazed over the fields that stretched far beyond his sight. Everywhere he looked, vibrant crops stood tall, each one a testament to the bountiful harvest, now ready to be gathered. The air was filled with the scent of ripe grains, mingling with the joyful sounds of laborers as they worked tirelessly to collect the season's blessings. Farmers moved rhythmically through the rows of grain, their movements deliberate and steady under the warm sun's gaze. It was a moment of triumph not just for Triptolemus, but for all those whose lives were transformed by the divine gift of agriculture. In every corner of the land, communities gathered to celebrate their newfound prosperity. Villages that once knew only scarcity now brimmed with ample harvests, a direct result of the teachings shared by Triptolemus under Demeter's tutelage. Festive banners waved in the gentle breeze, as sounds of laughter and music mingled with the rustling of wheat. Families came together, united in gratitude and celebration, a vivid testament to the abundance they now shared. This time of harvest was not just about gathering crops, but also about weaving tighter connections between neighbors, as the shared joy of the season was palpable. Several communities, aware of the abundance they now enjoyed, chose to share their crops freely among neighboring villages. Carts laden with grains and produce rolled from village to village, their wheels groaning under the weight of the generosity born from the earth. These offerings brought smiles and renewed hope to others, as Triptolemus's guidance bore fruit not only personally but collectively, inspiring a spirit of unity and shared prosperity among their people. It was a reminder that the prosperity cultivated from the soil did not belong to one alone, but was a gift meant to be shared. Expressions of gratitude toward Triptolemus and Demeter echoed throughout the land. Farmers paused amidst their work to offer thanks to the deities who had blessed them so. Simple rituals and offerings were made, honoring the divine presence felt in every golden stalk. The community's heartfelt tributes resonated through the air, each whisper of thanks a testament to lives deeply changed for the better. Triptolemus, though ever humble, felt the warmth of their gratitude as something profound and fulfilling, a gentle acknowledgement of the divine thread woven through their shared journey. As dusk began to paint the sky with soft hues, the vibrant fields became the stage for festive offerings to the gods, celebrating the harvest. People gathered in open spaces under the wide sky, crafting offerings to honor the divine. Songs of praise rose steadily, carried on the autumn breezes, as they danced with shadows cast by the setting sun. The quiet murmur of prayers offered to Demeter echoed with reverence, blending with the joyous spirit of celebration. Children, too, lent their voices to this chorus, hopping and skipping among the sheaves of golden grain with glee. Observing the joyous celebrations, Triptolemus encountered a young farmer named Lysander. His enthusiasm embodied the transformation that the community had undergone. Lysander shared stories of past hardships and dreams they dared not hope for, now realized through bountiful harvests. Witnessing the thriving fields, Lysander felt renewed purpose and spoke of sustaining this prosperity through careful planning and learning from Triptolemus's teachings. His optimism and dedication mirrored the resilience and hope infused in the community. To secure this newfound abundance, community leaders gathered around Triptolemus, eager to discuss future plans. Together, they considered how to sustain this prosperity, focusing on collaborative efforts that would ensure the bounty lasted beyond the present season. Triptolemus shared the wisdom imparted by Demeter, encouraging practices that would maintain the land's fertility and cater to the needs of future generations. The discussions echoed with hope and a determined resolve to nurture the divine gifts they had received. Amidst the celebration, a small conflict arose when a sudden autumn rain threatened the festivities, causing momentary discontent among some villagers. Triptolemus, sensing the apprehension, encouraged calm, using the opportunity to illustrate that such rain was vital for sustaining the growth they celebrated. His soothing words quelled the unrest, turning the disruption into a reflection of the necessary cycles of nature. The farmers also raised concerns and hopes for the coming planting season, seeking advice from Triptolemus on how best to prepare the soil. Engaging gently, Triptolemus addressed their queries, offering practical guidance and reinforcing the principles of balance taught by Demeter. His words, steeped in wisdom, reassured them that the cycles of the earth were as much in their hands as in the care of the gods. As the landscape turned rich and vibrant, each field seemed to echo with celebration, a living canvas painted with hues of gold and earth tones under the warm autumn sun. The scene was more than an illustration of successful harvests. It was a testament to the journey of growth, nurtured by Triptolemus and blessed by Demeter. Even as the sun dipped below the horizon, leaving the land in soothing twilight, the promise of continued abundance and shared prosperity lingered in the hearts of all. With hopeful eyes, Triptolemus looked to the future, knowing that sustaining these blessings would be an ongoing journey, one he welcomed with open arms. Triptolemus, ever vigilant in his sacred mission, watched over the fields blooming with abundance. This he saw as both a blessing and a responsibility, for newfound prosperity often invited fresh challenges. Among the golden expanses spreading under the summer sky, an unseen menace lurked, pests threatening the fruits of labor nurtured by Demeter's teachings. Responding to the farmers' calls, Triptolemus gathered them in the cool shadows of an ancient grove. Their anxious faces looked to him for guidance. Triptolemus, with wisdom drawn from the goddess, introduced them to techniques held across generations in nature's library. He spoke of the balance achieved with companion planting and the natural predators that could be allies to the crops. His teachings flowed like the streams he had shown them to harness, imbuing the land with resilience they had yet to know. But teaching in words was only the beginning. Triptolemus believed in learning through doing, joining the villagers as they prepared mixtures of soil and herbs known to deter the tiny but relentless hordes. Together, they transformed the art of pest management into a ritual of nurturing, creating barrier rows, fostering diversity among plants, and encouraging vigilance over their green charges. In these fields, deeds spoke louder than fears, crafting a tapestry of protection interwoven with the crops. The change was profound. Once vulnerable to ruin, the fields became stories of triumph, a victory of knowledge over chaos. Vibrant greens guarded by the golden grain waved gracefully in the wind, whispering tales of resilience and gratitude to the sunlit sky. To witness this was to see Demeter's love reflecting in every leaf, her blessings untouched and ever-present. As the villagers found strength in their pest-free prosperity, another challenge came forth, as if testing the newfound harmony. Despite the towering abundance, the threat of drought hung ominously, casting shadows over the celebrations. Triptolemus, sensing this disturbance, was more than a dispenser of knowledge. He became a beacon of practical wisdom against drought's tyranny. He gathered the farmers again, this time under a dawning sky, and shared insights of sustainable practices. Triptolemus emphasized the ancient art of crop rotation, preserving soil vitality. He introduced simple irrigation concepts, teaching them to use slopes and gravity to guide water wisely from streams. He spoke of conserving every drop, nurturing not just the earth but their future. These concepts required understanding and commitment, yet with Triptolemus's gentle guidance, they appeared within reach. In distant hillside villages, skepticism greeted innovation. Here, where elders held court over tradition, he engaged in dialogues that danced with the cadence of age-old wisdom. He explained the need for change, for evolution that honored the past while embracing the future. Triptolemus shared stories of distant lands where similar methods began cycles of renewal. The elders, cautious yet swayed by the sincerity of his counsel, embraced these lessons, planting seeds of transformation in their own hearts. United by these teachings, communities once isolated by tradition now found themselves bound by shared purpose. They became architects of their own resilience, turning concerns of scarcity into collective efforts of preservation and strength. Flourishing fields echoed with a vibrant energy, each plant a testament to cooperation under Triptolemus's mentorship and Demeter's divine guardianship. But triumphant, Triptolemus found himself not a hero, but a steward of endless promise. As gratitude poured over him like the sweet waters of hills, he saw a landscape transformed from adversity to a symbol of divine blessing, a canvas canvassed with hues of hope and unity. The sustainable paths laid would extend beyond his journey, cultivating richness in soil and spirit alike. With solutions now rooted deeply, Triptolemus understood the enduring nature of his work. The sun dipped low, casting golden farewell across fields verdant and victorious, as he readied for the next journey. His efforts had resolved present challenges, setting the stage for continuous prosperity, and as the warm summer breeze carried whispers of upcoming adventures, Triptolemus stood, calm and steadfast. For the gentle continuance of his mission awaited. The gentle sun rose over thriving fields, as communities gathered from near and far to celebrate the abundant harvest bestowed upon them by the wisdom of Triptolemus and the grace of Demeter. Former skepticism had transformed into deep appreciation for the teachings that had turned barren lands into fertile grounds of abundance. With fields glistening in ripe bounty, a spirit of collective effort began to flourish. Dialogue opened new avenues for growth as villagers shared insights and experiences, finding strength in their shared unity and diversity of thought. Under the guidance of Triptolemus, dialogues between communities blossomed. Villages convened in shaded groves, sharing tales of challenges and triumphs. In our village, we found that sowing before the first frost yields finer crops, one elder remarked, to nods of agreement. Another suggested, perhaps we forge tools collectively, enhancing productivity for all. Triptolemus listened intently, weaving their knowledge into a richer tapestry of agricultural understanding. Inspired by these discussions, collective farming projects began to take root, transforming mere ideas into a reality of collaboration. Triptolemus diligently facilitated these initiatives, ensuring each project's success by blending his divine understanding with mortal resolve. In one project, neighboring villages collaborated to develop a shared grain storage system. The towering structure not only preserved crops, but became a symbol of their shared reliance and unity. Village leaders and farmers came together to brainstorm innovations, passing tools of the trade from hand to hand, evolving them to meet the challenges of each unique terrain. This communal spirit expanded into a thriving network of knowledge and support, resembling a single tree with branches spreading wide and lush. As trust continued to grow, agricultural festivals became shared traditions among neighboring villages. These events served as vibrant celebrations of unity and cultural exchange. Among games played and recipes exchanged, one festival featured a poignant event, a storytelling circle recounting the miraculous arrival of Triptolemus. I remember my grandfather saying he saw the chariot fly in the middle of the night. A young child whispered with awe. The tales of divine intervention not only entertained, but solidified the bonds forged through agriculture and shared heritage. The resonating stories of Demeter's blessings and Triptolemus's journey were offered like seeds scattered by the wind, finding fertile soil in each listener's heart. Elders recounted tales of Demeter's nurturing influence and Triptolemus as a beacon of hope and change, sparking imaginations of young and old alike. They shared narratives emphasizing their bond with the earth, binding generations in a collective memory of unity and growth. These stories became more than tales. They were vivid lessons underscoring the importance of respect and care for the earth, passed down through generations. The approach taken by Triptolemus toward agriculture wove itself into the fabric of daily life, evolving from teachings into traditions. Practices such as communal plowing, seed swapping, and collaborative harvest planning solidified their roots in community spirit, turning the act of sowing seeds into a profound ritual honoring the divine gift of sustenance and life. Fathers taught sons the sacred dance of tilling the earth, while mothers shared the art of nurturing seedlings with daughters. The fields resonated with laughter and shared labor, becoming overlapping symbols of a united spirit. Generations eagerly adopted and adapted these cherished agricultural practices, ensuring a perpetual heritage of abundance and knowledge. Parents imparted the wisdom of the seasons, the music of the soil, and the stories of their rich heritage to their children. Fields bloomed as future guardians of the earth learned the sacred dance of renewals and growth. Each seed planted and tool crafted became an enduring homage to the legacy of Triptolemus and Demeter, promising prosperity to future generations. As autumn lingered on, the sky remained clear, a reflection of the harmony that had taken root in these lands. Triptolemus, with quiet satisfaction, watched as the communities grew, not only in grain but in spirit. An elder, reflecting on the past years, mused, "It is as though the land sings with new life, born from the unity and teachings of Triptolemus." As the festivals circled through the seasons, each cycle renewed their collective commitment to the land and to one another. Their friendship flourished like crops under Demeter's ever-watchful gaze. Shared tools and community symbols emerged as focal points in this newfound unity, serving as reminders of collaboration and collective growth. Through Triptolemus's guidance, these practices solidified, his teachings immortalized in the cultural fabric. Communities discovered that, by combining their strengths and insights, they could surmount challenges beyond individual efforts, achieving a harmony that enriched their existence. As the chapter drew to a close, the land sang with continued promise. Traditions birthed by Demeter's wisdom and Triptolemus's dedication stood as a testament to human resilience and divine generosity. With anticipation for the forthcoming sowing season, communities cherished the intertwining of past teachings and future hopes. The field-laden stories of unity were etched in the hearts of all, cultivating an enduring prosperity for generations to come. Their collective journey under Demeter's guiding light hailed the dawn of a legacy destined to inspire the ages. The seasons graced the land of Eleusis with their timeless dance, and Triptolemus stood at the heart of this symphony, observing the delicate interplay of life and nature. The fields before him bore witness to humanity's alliance with the divine, as each grain and blade resonated with Demeter's nurturing touch. The sun cascaded over the fertile expanse, and with each passing day the shadows stretched long, welcoming the cooling breath of winter's approach. Gathering the villagers beneath the sheltering boughs of a venerable olive tree, Triptolemus shared the gentle wisdom bestowed upon him by Demeter. "Let us embrace the cycles she orchestrates," he spoke with calm assurance. "Each season unfolds with purpose, a tale of growth and repose, promising renewal." His words were a soothing balm, weaving through the crowd like a gentle breeze, illustrating the symbiotic dance between man and the earth. In quiet testament to Demeter's presence, nature wove its patterns around the village. Her spirit whispered within the rustling leaves and the golden grains dancing in the fields, reminding all of the sacred promise within each seed. These fields, once fallow, now thrived under her grace, a harmonious composition sung by the divine. Amidst the fields, community life blossomed. Families and neighbors united in shared purpose, skimming the soils and passing down sacred agrarian traditions to the younger generations. Triptolemus moved softly amidst them, offering tales of past bounties and teaching the children how to prepare the earth. In this exchange, the profound wisdom handed down from the goddess was entrusted to eager hearts and hands, ensuring the continuity of their sacred rituals. As time wove its cycle, the fields prospered, echoing the renewed hymn of life. Guided by Demeter's teachings, the farmers engaged in a dance of diligence, their efforts rewarded by bountiful harvests. Each grain represented hours of patient labor and care, embodying hope and sustenance, ready to nourish the earth once more. The villagers knew well that this prosperity was part of a larger story, one authored by nature, enriched by the toil and reverence of its people. The harvest season brought a shared sense of well-being that rippled through the community. The abundant gifts of the land were celebrated and honored, a sum of labor and divine favor. Farmers, families, and friends gathered to share meals, recount stories, and strengthen the bonds between themselves and the earth upon which they depended. With the winter months drawing near, a reflective serenity settled across the land. Farmers utilized this time to replenish and prepare their fields for the rest ahead, turning the soil deep, nurturing tomorrow's promise. Winter was not a time to merely pause, but one of anticipation, underscored by Demeter's teachings, emphasizing the dance between repose and resurgence. Triptolemus often sat by a warm hearth, contemplating the eternal rhythms that composed the life's weave he had come to cherish. Even amid the brisk whispers of winter, hope took root for the sowing seasons to come. Farmers meticulously planned their endeavors, aligning with the divine rhythms imparted by Demeter. In the tranquil heart of their preparations, hope grew alongside the fields, as each seed whispered of the abundance that lay beneath the soil's embrace. Under a starlit winter sky, Triptolemus gathered the village youth, sharing tales from previous cycles. Within each cycle, each seed, resides a universe of potential, he encouraged, gesturing to the stars. And just as these stars move across the sky, so too shall you grow with this endless knowledge. His words carried a promise reaching far beyond the practical, urging a hope that transcended time and space, a legacy of prosperity for future generations. This anticipation was woven into the very fabric of the communal spirit, extending beyond the bounds of mere agriculture. Nature and humanity flourished in harmonious rhythms, a careful choreography that embraced both the seen and the unseen roles in life's dance. It was a story where each cycle contributed to the next, echoing through the ages. Guided by Demeter and enriched by Triptolemus' stewardship, this story would paint history with lessons of care, patience, and growth for eons to come. As the last golden vestiges of sunlight brushed the fields, Triptolemus reflected on the journey that lay both behind and ahead. Within the fields that stretched out before him, the mosaic of past efforts and future potential were etched by the hand of time and nurtured through divine guidance. They stood as a testament to enduring abundance, where tomorrow's promise was an echo of yesterday's wisdom. In this serene moment, the hope of renewal thrived alongside each crop. The harmonious cycles and the teachings Demeter engraved in every aspect of life continued to guide both soil and seed. With the promise of new sowing seasons ahead, Triptolemus and the communities he nurtured upheld the hope that this unending cycle would forever weave a story of prosperity and peace. As the seasons shifted, Eleusis became a canvas of vibrant life, particularly during spring, when abundance transformed fields into classrooms of nature's wisdom. Triptolemus emerged as a significant figure, revered for the divine insights imparted by the goddess Demeter. His presence was a beacon of knowledge, a living testament to Demeter's teachings. Walking among the fields, Triptolemus inspired both awe and reverence, gathering younger farmers who eagerly sat at his feet to learn. His tales, etched under the open skies, were not just stories but lessons imbued with the miraculous essence of divine assistance. Each tale he recounted highlighted the rhythmic cycle of nature: growth, harvest, rest, and renewal, instilling an understanding of the delicate balance between humanity and the earth. The younger generations were captivated by the elders' recounting of the origins of cultivation. Through Triptolemus's narratives, they learned of the transformation from barren wastelands to fertile fields, a divine gift gifted by Demeter herself. These youths absorbed the importance of their duty to perpetuate the cycles entrusted to them, recognizing each seed as a promise of abundance and a pledge to Demeter. Traditions steeped in agricultural success blossomed, becoming rituals that reinforced the community's sacred bond with the divine. Seasonal celebrations emerged with gusto, each filled with songs, dances, and offerings to Demeter. These festivals were more than just recreational events. They were expressions of profound gratitude, deepening the community's reverence for the natural cycles. Farmers committed themselves to sharing this wisdom. In the fields, they taught youths valuable lessons of patience and sustainability. These teachings were experienced firsthand as the young ones engaged in plowing the earth and planting seeds, learning the virtues of dedication through direct involvement. The passing of wisdom ensured that the community's blessings to Demeter remained steadfast and sincere. Against this backdrop of learning, new leaders emerged, inspired by Triptolemus's enduring dedication. These budding leaders embraced their roles with conviction, carrying forward the practices taught by Triptolemus and simultaneously introducing innovations to sustain their endeavors. They embodied the future, where the legacy of Triptolemus was not only honored but expanded upon. In their evolution, communities honored past teachings while welcoming new techniques to enrich their agricultural practices. Such adaptations were a tribute to Triptolemus's fertile teachings, forging an environment where history and progress intertwined seamlessly. Eleusis' field stood testament to this mastery, rich with life and potential, nurtured by generations of dedicated stewardship. Triptolemus's impact transcended farming. The agricultural wisdom taught evolved into cultural heritage, weaving into the identity of communities. These fields, blessed with divine wisdom, became sacred grounds where ancient traditions met modern innovations, forming a lasting legacy of harmony cultivated between humanity and the divine. Gathered in these fields, families shared stories of resilience and unity, much like strands of golden wheat intertwined. Softly spoken tales echoed past wisdom while sculpting future aspirations, a living narrative capturing both what had been learned and what awaited realization. Triptolemus stood at the field's edge, immersed in fulfillment. He observed this collective heritage, a testament to the cycles he fostered, breathing prosperity through harmonious balance. As the horizon beckoned the setting sun, fresh beginnings were promised, nurturing hope for continued growth and renewal. With the whisper of each season, Triptolemus's mission endured within the divine embrace of Demeter. Well-tended lands, nurtured by generations of grateful hearts, stood as an eternal testament to the gods and humans working in concert, where age-old teachings continued to guide, enrich, and celebrate the earth's bountiful gifts. As the twilight bathed the fields in a soft golden glow, Triptolemus found a moment of solitude to reflect on the journey he had undertaken. Many moons had passed since Demeter first entrusted him with the divine mission to share the secrets of cultivation with humanity. Now, the echoes of his work resonated throughout the land. Communities thrived. Fields yielded bountiful harvests, and the rhythm of nature was harmoniously embraced by all. His heart swelled with fulfillment. The gifts he brought had taken root deeply, nurturing both earth and soul. With a gentle smile, he thought of Demeter and the ancient trust she had placed in him. Communities flourished like never before, blossoming from the seed of shared wisdom. Villages nestled between emerald hills gather regularly to exchange tales of abundant harvests, turning scarcity into sharing. Local farmers delighted in the sight of plump grains filling their storages, allowing them to support neighboring settlements. One such story, spoken amidst laughter, told of a particularly harsh season from the past, where collaboration and shared knowledge led to unexpected bounty. The villagers' laughter and song mingled with the rustling crops, each note a tribute to the prosperity linked to Demeter through Triptolemus. Agricultural festivals had become the heart of seasonal life, celebrated with vigor and a depth of gratitude that tied communities to Demeter. Under the moonlit sky, village elders led processions, carrying woven baskets brimming with the season's yield, ripe fruits, golden grains, and freshly baked bread. Among them were unique new traditions, such as weaving garlands from the first harvest of flowers, which villagers placed on the altars with due reverence. These festivals evolved beyond mere celebrations to honor Demeter, acting as pivotal moments to affirm communal ties. Offerings of fresh grains adorned altars, and dances ensured a living testament to the harmony achieved through unity and purpose. Triptolemus, once a mere messenger of the gods, now stood as a steadfast figure of knowledge and guidance. Often found walking among the fields, he offered wise counsel to deepen understanding of the earth's rhythms. In a village gathering, he spoke softly of sustaining the fertility of soil, drawing from the deep well of Demeter's teachings. His presence was treasured, exuding a calming steadiness that villagers clung to, his teachings cherished and integrated into stories and songs passed through generations. A moment shared between a grandfather and child echoed this reverence. "Do you see, little one? This land remembers." As lore of Triptolemus's journey spread, it was spoken of with reverence at gatherings. Elders would reminisce about barren pasts transformed by divine wisdom. "Remember when the fields lay bare?" began one elder, drawing nods and murmurs. These stories, spoken with awe, were reminders of the transformation possible when human endeavors align with divine guidance. Triptolemus's legacy as an emblem of peace grew, his name synonymous with harmony, achieved through respecting nature's cycles. The path of cultivation became a universal symbol of peace, bridging cultural and geographical divides alike. In one thriving valley, disparate villagers banded together for cooperative projects, such as building irrigation channels to ensure all fields could relish water's life-giving touch. In the spaces between plow furrows, neighboring villages found new bonds, celebrating enhanced prosperity. Farmers in unity shared insights and recounted shared victories, forging resilient communities. The synchronized harmony of their efforts steadily became a standard of shared success. Prosperity offered fresh avenues for cultural expression, enriching gratitude toward the divine. Communities devised artistic expressions that depicted both Demeter and Triptolemus, adorning communal structures. Each brushstroke in these creations served as a tribute to the legacy of abundance and its guardianship. Painted symbols of the harvest, embedded within stones at home entrances, stood as protective icons. Rousing songs of harvest and narratives of Earth's generosity filled the air, reverberating through fields, now sanctuaries of renewal. A legacy of harmony and nurturing thrived, carried forward by generations. With each passing season, Triptolemus witnessed the comforting dance of sowing and reaping. Children were taught traditions during festal gatherings, their small hands assisting elders in preparations, learning songs celebrating their history. Demigods and mortals continued revering Demeter's teachings, crafting promises of future bounties intertwined with care and respect. Triptolemus found solace in the enduring success of his journey, optimistic that these cycles of nature would continue flourishing. Through the continuous dance of growth and harvest, Triptolemus glimpsed the timeless resonance of his endeavors. His mission, a legacy of love and wisdom, flourished with each planting and harvest season. As he watched over lands reborn under Demeter's symbolic gaze, his heart swelled with certainty that these gifts of nature would forever nurture both humanity's heart and its soil. This set the stage for many seasons ahead, filled with unity and prosperity, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting its warm golden glow over the vast fields. The communities assembled for the final celebrations in honor of Demeter. The air was thick with a sense of gratitude and fulfillment, as villagers adorned their homes and fields with offerings to the goddess, who had bestowed upon them the gift of a bountiful harvest. Flickering torchlight illuminated the scene, symbolizing the enduring prosperity assured by Demeter's divine guidance. At the center of the gathering, Triptolemus stood, surrounded by thriving communities that had prospered through the shared teachings of both himself and the goddess. Reflecting on the journey, he felt a profound peace, remembering how both skepticism and hope had marked the early stages of spreading agriculture. In those initial days, doubts were abundant, but with the patient wisdom of Demeter, these lands were transformed into flourishing gardens. Each community approached Triptolemus, their offerings, golden sheaves of grain and symbols of plentiful harvest, honoring both him and the goddess. The villagers, in grateful unison, offered praises and prayers, appreciating the divine partnership that had transformed potential into abundant reality. These gestures were steeped in heartfelt gratitude, not simply ritualistic, but embodying deep acknowledgement of their celestial patrons and mentors. As the night deepened, Triptolemus reflected on the potent relationship between the divine and mortal realms, a partnership that wove together the very fabric of success. By transcending barriers and connecting the ethereal with the earthly, they had marked the turning of seasons and the renewal it promised. He remembered overcoming skepticism and environmental challenges, each difficulty becoming a shared story that demonstrated the harmonious bond between gods and mortals. Under the glistening watch of the moon and stars, the villagers paused, respecting these celestial guardians, reinforcing their faith and connection to Demeter's wisdom. The night sky, with its peaceful cosmic dance, seemed to reflect the harmonious cycles of growth below, tying together divine order and human endeavor. As seasons shifted, the harvest cycles would renew, continually offering life and abundance. In anticipation of future ceremonies, planning commenced, and Triptolemus encouraged the communities to maintain their grateful and respectful practices. The wisdom shared by Demeter was more than a short-lived boon. It was a lifelong commitment to nurturing the earth and ensuring the continuity of fertility. This shared knowledge, revered and passed down, would guarantee that the harmony established would flourish into an ever-evolving future. The sound of revelry surrounded Triptolemus as he stood amid the villagers, finding solace in his contributions to their world. His journey, filled with uncertainties and challenges, had beautifully evolved into a lasting legacy of nurturing prosperity. Each patch of fertile soil and every abundant harvest was a living testament to a life devoted to a greater cause. His legacy was not just a story. It was a guiding principle embedded within these communities. In this tranquil moment, under the vigilant gaze of the divine, it became evident that nature and humanity were perfectly synchronized, led by Demeter's principles. If the communities continued to honor these principles, they would flourish indefinitely, and Triptolemus's legacy would echo eternally. With serene assurance, the endless cycle of life and prosperity under divine watch unfolded, lighting the path for ongoing growth and abundance. As the celebration continued, a young villager approached Triptolemus, eyes shining with admiration. "Thank you," the young one said softly, holding out a small hand-woven token. It was a simple gesture, yet it encapsulated the continuing legacy of gratitude and learning through generations. Triptolemus accepted the token, feeling its significance beyond mere gratitude. It represented the enduring transmission of knowledge and respect across ages. Turning to a nearby elder, Triptolemus engaged in a brief dialogue, their words reinforcing the cycle of wisdom that would perpetuate the union of divine and mortal wisdom for years to come. With these exchanges, the night concluded in calm harmony, under the benediction of starlit skies. This was not an end, but a serene transition. The nurturing ideals of Triptolemus would continue to guide the fields into a future ripe with potential, under the benevolent watch of Demeter, ensuring the perpetuity of blessings, growth, and unity.